Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to all you out came out there pushing his word with all truth and sincerity, and to all you believers out there who believe on the gospel. And it's the brother Quara Abad from the GMS Houston camp. And I want to go into a quick lesson, man. Something, I've been thinking about as of late. And this is going to be impromptu as well. I don't even, got no precepts set. I usually have, at least a couple precepts. But it's just, something I want to speak on through the spirit, man. I believe the Lord, he'll feed me with, Yahweh Shai, feed me with the precepts, and give me the utterance to speak. But it's something, like I said, man, I was meditating about, and it's the point of that each one of us coming into this truth, it was for a reason, and the Lord gave each one of us, like I said, he bestowed each one of us our portion of faith, right? And so along with that faith, we all have a specific duty to do, man. We all have different roles, different parts of the body, different abilities. You may have a brother who can speak, may have a brother who can't speak well, who, be stuttering when he speak. You may have a brother who know the history, may have the brother who ain't so sharp in the history. You may have a brother who just cold in prophecy, going into articles. May have a brother get trapped up in that, right? May have a brother who may be good in the scriptures, but he have no charity. But you may have a brother who is hard from the fine scriptures, but his charity out the roof, But the point is that, each one of us have a purpose. And what I've been thinking of is that our purpose could be greater than we know. And another thing, too, we come into this truth, and me, I'm a super young brother, and I'm still trying to find, what's my role, what's my lot, within the ministry and the body. What am I needed for? What's my purpose? You see, and we all might know what our purpose may be, but even with that, it might be greater than you even know. It might be greater than you even know. You might feel insignificant, like, man, I ain't able to do this like a brother, do that like a brother. You might not even know your purpose way greater than that, than what portion that brother got. And what made me think of that, I've been reading the book of Samuel again, man. In the book of Samuel, touching up on the, the history, our heritage a little more. Lord willing, I get through both 1 Samuel and 2 Samuel. But when you go look at King David, man, King David, right? He was called from, tending to the sheep, the flock, amongst his brothers, his biological brothers. He wasn't looked at as, as far as the eye can see, the most special and strong, They even got mad at him when he was supposed to be at home watching over the flock. And he was right there at the wall. You see, when they're about to go to war with the Philistines, his brothers got mad at him. They ain't think he was built for that, in other words. Well, hold on. Well, King David's purpose was way greater than that. You see? And like I said, I'm gonna read a little bit. I ain't even got no, specific point I even want to get into Samuel. But it also made, that's a spirit, then we might have to get that too. And like I said, I ain't got no set precepts, but we're gonna roll. Let me put this down, because you got to think about Apostle Paul too. Apostle Paul. Now, if you was a believer at the time, and Paul was persecuting the church, you would have easily said, man, that's a nigga, man. He a 2/3. Look what he doing to the believers. He a 2/3. That's a nigga. But Apostle Paul, his purpose was way greater than he even knew. His purpose was way greater than the believers who was already believing when he wasn't. His purpose was greater. I'm going to say some of them, of course, because he had a big part in this truth. So the same thing for us, man. Whether you know what your purpose is, it might be greater than what you even know. Or for a brother who trying to, like, me shit, trying to find your way, trying to find what you need it for. The Lord may reveal that to you just to take you to another level. Remember, it's living waters. We got to go from glory to glory. We will constantly, through the Spirit, Lord willing, get built up to be taken to that next level, man. So, just a little quick, exhortation, man, to not get down if one may feel, well, I'm not really needed, I'm not important. Well, look, at one point, let's get that real quick with King David. At one point in time, it seemed like he wasn't needed with Goliath, right? But if it weren't for King David, shit, Saul was scared, his brothers were scared, all of them were scared, right? It seemed like he wasn't needed, but that's the exact one they needed, man. Let me read this real quick. And like I said, Lord willing, this lesson be edifying. Let me see, this is 1 Samuel. I'm going to start at 17 and 12. I'm going to start at 11. I'm going to start at 10. It says, and the Philistine said, I defied the armies of Israel this day. Give me a man that we may fight together. Philistines talking shit to Israel. It says, and when Saul and all Israel heard those words of the Philistine, Goliath, right? It said this about him. They were dismayed and greatly afraid, scared. Now you the king, you got mighty men, but y'all scared. And it says, now David was the son of the Ephrathite of Bethlehem, Judah, of Bethlehem of Judah, whose name was Jesse. And he had 8 sons, and the men went among men for an old man in the days of Saul. It says, and the 3 eldest sons of Jesse went and followed Saul to the battle. So you had King David, 3 older brothers. They was warriors, right, in the army. And it says, in the name of his 3 sons that went to battle were Eliab, the firstborn, and the next Abinadab, and the third Shema. It says, and David was the youngest, and the 3 elders followed Saul. But David went and returned from Saul to feed his father's sheep at Bethlehem. Right now, you go a little down. It said how Jesse, which is David's father, he had King David pack his brother some lunch, right? Pack the warriors, the army something. Go bring him something, right? Matter of fact, let me read it a little bit. It says, and Jesse said to David his son, take now for thy brethren an ephah of this parched corn and these 10 loaves, and run to the camp to thy brethren. You see, so he go bring him some food. And it says, verse 20, and David rose up early in the morning and left the sheep with the keeper, and took and went and as Jesse had commanded him. And he came to the trench as the host was going forth to fight, and shouted for the battle. For Israel and the Philistines had put the battle in array, and army against army. And David left his carriage in the hand of the keeper of the carriage, and ran into the army, and came and saluted his brethren. And as he talked with them, behold, there came up the champion, the Philistine of Gath, Goliath by name, out of the army of the Philistines, and spake concerning the same words, and David heard them. And all the men of Israel, when they saw the man, fled from him, and was so afraid. Right? It says, verse 26, and David spake to the men that stood by, saying, what shall be done to this man that killeth this Philistine? Man, hold on. This Philistine Goliath talking shit. Let me know what's going to happen to the man who killed this man. What's going to be the reward, right? So it says, and taketh away the reproach from Israel, for who is this uncircumcised Philistine, that he should defy the armies of the living power? So King David was like, man, hold on. He going a little too far. Now watch the reaction. It says, and the people answered him of this matter, saying, so shall it be done to this man that killeth him. And Eliab, his eldest brother, heard when he spake unto the men, and Eliab's anger was kindled against David. And he said, why camest thou down hither? Why you came here, David, man? Fuck. You see, they Judah from the tribe of Judah. Man, why you out here, man? You supposed to be with the flock. Who told you come out here? Right? And it says, and Eliab's anger was kindled against David, and he said, why camest thou down hither? And with whom hast thou left those few sheep in the wilderness? I know thy pride and the naughtiness of thine heart, for thou art come down that thou mightest see the battle. So he took King David, zeal, his pride, and naughtiness. So they didn't think King David was supposed to be there. In other words, he was looked down upon, man. You see, now, of course, you go down into the story, and he's the one who was able to overtake Goliath. But the point I'm getting at is how he was, looked down upon. Now, I'm going to get this real quick, because even when it came for Samuel to anoint King David, when it came for Samuel to anoint one of Jesse's sons, King David was the last one thought about. Again, it didn't seem like his purpose was of no value. That's what I'm going to hit on. And the Lord willing, I get Apostle Paul 2 next. And whatever other precepts the Lord, whatever the Lord feed. You see, but the point was, King David wasn't looked at first to just be the savior and the king, and nobody regarded him. Right? Let's get it when it was time for one of Jesse's sons to get anointed. Right? And You know, we'll get how King David, then after, you know, they realized he was that dude. But this 1 Samuel 16 and 5. And he said, peaceably I am come to sacrifice unto Yahweh and sanctify yourselves. Come with me to the sacrifice. And he sanctified Jesse, King David's father, right? And his sons, and he called them to the sacrifice. And it came to pass when they were come that he looked on Eliab and said, surely Yahweh's anointed is before him. So the first one came up, swole, probably tall, right? We got the sharp jawbone, all that, right? Samuel said, oh, for sure he gonna be the king. I already know it. I can see him. And it says, but Yahweh said unto Samuel, look not on his countenance, nor on the height of his stature. Look, Samuel, don't look on if he's a handsome man, you know, good to look upon. Don't look at if he tall or swole. Don't look at that. It says, for Yahweh seeth not as man seeth, for man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Lord Yahweh looketh on the heart. Then Jesse called Abinadab and made him pass before Samuel, and he said, neither have Yahweh chosen this one. No, he ain't it either. You know, he looked the part, but he ain't it either. It says, then Jesse made Shammah to pass by, and he said, neither have Yahweh chosen this. Again, Jesse made 7 of his sons to pass before Samuel, and Samuel said unto Jesse, Yahweh have not chosen these. These not the ones that's chosen. Now look, they was the comely parts, right? Wait, we're gonna have to get that. 1 Corinthians 12, there was the comely parts of the body, right? The most important, but that's not what the Lord was looking for. You see, those wasn't the ones who was set up to have the greater purpose. But we about to find out who was. Again, touching on that point, man. Hey, your purpose might be greater than what you think it is. What I think mine is. Who knows? Or it might just be what the Lord gave us, you know, because you can't make yourself, you know, great. You can't make yourself, you know, reward bigger when you're Hawashak. No, it's all we all doing what the Lord have set out to do. But the point is, we don't know what the Lord planned on earth right here. Nobody knew that David was going to be this great as he is today. He's still great. Nobody knew at that time David was going to be as great as he is. Hey, if we endure, nobody knew that we was going to be, well, if we endure to the end, right? And after our glory is shown, when Yahweh shall come back, nobody will perceive that we would be as great as we will be. What it saying first, what that is, 1 John 3 and 2. I'm going to get it real quick and I'm going to go back to that. Let me get it real quick. Again, we just got to keep pushing, keep fighting, man. Trusting in the Lord. Because it says in what that is, 1 Corinthians 3, the Most High get an increase. We just got to do our part. You know, and doing our part is doing his work. Because look, how the increase come. You go to Matthew 25, and for the ones who was doing the work, they got blessed with a bigger portion. A bigger purpose. But the one who didn't, his portion was taken away and added on to another brother's, which made another brother's portion that much more special. You see, so if you give out, the Lord gonna give to you, man. And that's for myself first and foremost. And also, if you slack, the Lord, he could easily take from you. Just hit that Matthew 25. But this is 1 John real quick, 3. Straight to the point, just to go into how it don't seem like it now, right? 1 John 3 and 2, it says, beloved, now are we the sons of the Most High, and it doeth not yet appear what we shall be. But we know that when he shall appear, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is. You see, so the world don't understand the glory which we about to receive, but they gon' understand it just like right now. We might not understand our lot, our purpose, until the Lord maybe put us through something, you know, reveal something to us, whatever it be. Get over that hump and learn, grow, so on and so forth. You know, but let me go back to that Samuel real quick, and I'll start to wind it down, man. I didn't want it to be this long, you know. But all right, so this 1 Samuel, forgot where I was. Salaki. 1 Samuel 16 and 11. And Samuel said unto Jesse, are here all thy children? And he said, there remaineth yet the youngest, and behold, he keepeth the sheep. Yeah, we got one. He back there, he the youngest. Well, why he wasn't up there at first? You ain't think he was able to even get up there at first? With all other sons, why he was still way back there with the sheep? Wasn't even sought out for. And it says, and Samuel said unto Jesse, send and fetch him, for we will not sit down till he come thither. And he sent and brought him in, and now he was ruddy with all of beautiful countenance. So King David was super handsome, man. It says, and Yahweh said, arise, anoint him, for this is he. This is my one right here. This is my king, man. The one who wasn't even looked for. The one who felt like he ain't had no, you ain't, David, go home while you at the battle, David. But that's your king, though. That's your king. You feel me? Straight up, man. And it says, it goes to how Samuel anointed him, man. But even with that, King David turned out to be a great king. Although his purpose, everybody ain't know that was going to be his purpose. Right? Even when Saul got them demons on him, they was looking for a man to come get the demons off just to play instruments. They went get King David thinking he just a youth, right? A youth. And he started playing his harp for King Saul, not even knowing, David, you truly the king. King Saul going through this so the Most High could get him out the way so you can come in here. King David's purpose was way greater than he even knew. Everybody, way greater than everybody even knew, man. You see? Let's read this real quick on something King David said. How the Most High chose him out of everybody. This First Chronicles 28:2. Then David the king stood up on his feet and said, hear me, my brethren and my people. As for me, I had in my heart to build a house of rest for the ark of the Most High, for the ark of the covenant of the Lord, and for the footstool of our power, and had made ready for the building. But God said unto me, thou shalt not build a house for my name, because thou hast been a man of war and hast shed blood. Hey, the great one, if not the greatest, one of the greatest warriors in Israel, in the world, man, King David, man. And why should he say, howbeit Yahweh power of Israel chose me before all the house of my father. His purpose was greater than just tending to the sheep. Yeah, the Lord started him at that, but what the Lord ended him with, a greater purpose. Just like us, when we come into the truth, the Lord can start us with something, but as we grow, as we fall, get back up, as we learn, as we be around the elder brothers of our camp, as they tell us their experiences, we hear their stories from the apostles, elders, so on and so forth. That's when we grow. That's when we level up through the spirit, man, and be taken to a next glory, if it be the Lord will, or another purpose to help the body. Or extra life could be added on to your purpose. You already probably, you already have men who got great purposes, right? But the Lord could always add on to that. You see, man, let me go into that word purpose, because I'm throwing it around. Let's see. Purpose definition, just quick on Google. It says purpose, the reason for which something is done or created, for which something exists. What you here for? Right? What you here for? Just like us, we here to serve the Lord. We here to push out this word. We here to prophesy. We here to be a part of the ministry. But within this, we have different offices. Right? You might have brothers who over the treasury in certain counts. You might have brothers who over the YouTube pages in a certain count. You might have brothers who over getting together the feasts, and you have different portions along with the work we already have to do, man. But right, that's pretty much it. So hey, what you here for? Like the Most High told Daniel, you go stand at your light at the end days, man. But let's get Apostle Paul real quick, because his purpose ain't seem all that good either. His purpose ain't seem all that exciting how he was coming up against the church. But watch what the Lord said about him towards the time when the Most High brought him into it, though. I'm going to get straight to it. Acts 8:1, it says, and Saul was consenting unto his death, talking about Stephen, right? Because after they stoned Stephen, they took... they closed and laid him at Saul's feet. He was Saul at this time, right? Which shows that name change brought him to his that lot, man. He was changed to another man. But it says, and Saul was consenting unto his death, and at that time there was a great persecution against the church, which was at Jerusalem, and they were all scattered abroad out of the regions of Judea and Samaria, except the apostles. It says... verse 3, as for Saul, he made havoc of the church, entering in every house and hailing men and women, committed them to prison. So Saul, he was going around men, women. If you believe in Yahweh Shai, he was throwing your ass, jail, persecuting you, right? He ain't care. Of course, he was doing it because the zeal of what he knew, right? What he was taught. But he ain't coming to Yahweh Shai yet, right? Acts 9:1. And Saul yet breathing out threatenings and slaughter against the disciples of Yahweh, and went unto the priest. And he said he desired to say, man, let me go to Damascus. I'm gonna get more for y'all. You see, persecute, man. Right here it says slaughter. Now, Apostle Paul, of course, I ain't gonna read it all, but as he was on his way to Damascus, Yahweh Shai knocked him off his horse, and he went blind. Now, the Most High, the Lord about to tell a believer, which his name is Ananias, to go to Paul or to go to Saul and talk to him, man. Now, Ananias, he gonna reply, be like, Lord, no, you ain't hear about this man, how he been persecuting the church? Because again, it was known that Saul, he was getting busy, man. He didn't want to hear you preaching in Yahweh Shai either. So Ananias ain't want to go to him, but watch what the Lord about to say about Apostle Paul to Ananias, even after he was already persecuting the church. Again, it would have been an easy thing to say if you were a believer back in that time, man, that nigga 2/3, man, that nigga wicked, man, he killing the believers, man. It would have been easy to say Saul was a 2/3, but watch what the Lord about to say about him. Acts 9:10. And there was a certain disciple at Damascus named Ananias, and to him said the Lord in a vision, Ananias. And he said, behold, I am here, Lord. And the Lord said unto him, arise and go into the street which is called Straight, and inquire in the house of Judas for one called Saul of Tarsus, for behold, he prayeth. Right? And have seen in a vision a man named Ananias coming in and putting his hands on him that he might receive his sight. Then Ananias answered Yahweh. He said, Lord, I have heard by many of this man how much evil he have done to thy saints at Jerusalem. Lord, this man wicked, man. I heard, but the Lord got this to say. It says, and here he have put authority from the chief priest to bind all that call on thy name. But the Lord said unto him, go thy way, for he is a chosen vessel of mine. Let's read that again. But the Lord said unto him, go thy way, for he is a chosen vessel unto me to bear my name before the Gentiles and kings and the children of Israel. For I will show him how many great things he must suffer for my name's sake, man. So hold on, Ananias. I know you talking about him. I know what he done. But I chose this man to be a special vessel of mine to do my work. Go teach the Israelite foreigners and Israel, all Israel. I chose this man to do this. In other words, this man's purpose is greater than what you can perceive. You see? Man, purpose way greater than Apostle Paul purpose was greater than what he knew at the time. He even said it, I believe, I don't know for sure. I think it's in Corinthians how he was saying, man, I ain't even worthy to be called an apostle. I did this. Lord had mercy on me. Man. In other words, he's saying, man, look, now I know my purpose is greater. I think that's in Timothy, one of them. I'm going to flip through the page if I can snag it real quick. I'm going to get it, but if not, it's all good. But the point is, you get the point, man. You see? Apostle Paul, his point, his lot when he was sent down was greater than what he was doing at the time. Well, that's the same thing within our body, man. A brother who might not feel like you're important, bro, you important. You know, a brother who say he just, sending ties, but you ain't on the highways and hedges, you important. That's another thing. If you're a sister or brother, you just sending ties in, you're not actually in the camp, but you listen, you watch comments on the videos, and you helping out brothers, that goes a long way, man. You see, that goes a long way. Straight matter of fact, let's end it off on that 1 Corinthians when it goes into the body. And I ended off on that, like the Most High said about that. Let me get this real quick in Sirach 11 about the bee, man. A bee. What is that? This is Sirach 11:3. It says the bee is the bee is little among such as fly. Right? The bee ain't the biggest thing to fly. You got birds that's bigger than bees, dragonflies bigger than the bees. You see? Bee is one of the smallest things that's able to fly. But watch what it say though. It says the bee is little among such as fly, but her fruit is the chief of sweet things. Man, look at that. The bee purpose way greater than what it look like. The bee, the smallest thing, look like it got no power. It says, but what? But her fruit is the chief of sweet things, man. Just like Yahweh Shai said with that mustard seed. A super small seed, but you plant that thing and it grow to one of the biggest trees. The same thing, man. We might be here not even knowing what the Lord got in store for us next, man. You see? And again, it ain't no thing to try to make yourself great. You just forcing yourself to do more or less. You forcing yourself to do it. No, man, because that's insincere and you forcing it. That's against the spirit. You forcing the course of the river. You know, like Yahweh Shai said, man, when you go into the place, sit at the back. He gonna be the one to call you forth. Same thing. We do the work. You can't put yourself on a pedestal. The Lord gonna have to look at them works and ultimately what all he has set out for us to do in the first place. Because everything we doing is of the Lord that was ordained anyway, man. Let me get this done in Corinthians, man. Gotta get back to the job. Anyway, this 1 Corinthians 12. And I'm gonna start at 14. It says, for the body is not one member, but many. If you go up, it goes into it a little more, but, I'm short on time right now. I got to get back and shit. It says, for the body, I'm going to start at 12. It says, for the body is one and have many members. Right, we all together. We the body of Yahweh Shai. Us coming together makes up the body of believers in Yahweh Shai, man. And each one of us are a part. It says, and have many members, and all members of that body, being many, are one body, so also in Mashiach. Verse 14, for the body is not one member, but many. If the foot shall say, because I am not the hand, I am not of the body, is it not therefore of the body? Right, you want to be you want to have another role in the body, and because you don't think your role is that important as the foot, you like, damn, I get covered with socks and shoes every day. Nobody see me, but everybody see the hand. Now you want to be the hand. Well, look, if you be the hand, then how we going to walk as the body? In other words, yeah, you can want to look at another man's gift, but look, yours is important too. It says, and if the ear shall say, because I am not the eye, I am not of the body, is it therefore not of the body? Right there. He always on the side of the head. All he do is hear. I want to see too. I want to see. Well, hold on. Now, if you in front, you join the other two eyes. Now you got three eyes. Now you looking foolish. We need you to hear. We looking out and you hearing. It all works together, man. But we're going to get to the point. I'm going to jump down. It says, verse 22, it says, nay, much more those members of the body which seem to be more feeble are necessary. Going into the point. If you think, man, can't really find, what the Lord put you here for, you necessary. That's why we got to pray to the Lord. Ask him to reveal it to us, man. And it says, and upon these we bestow more abundant honor, and our comely parts have more abundant comeliness. Right? Because if those brothers who don't need help, who already got it, they supposed to help out the brothers who, trying to get it, man. So you can build, that's why I said iron sharpen iron, the ones who got it, who know they like purpose, right? Season, they got to help out us younger brothers to make us better so we can keep up with the body. It says, for our comely parts have no need, but the Most High have tempered the body together, having given more abundant honor to that part which lack, man. In other words, I think it's a scripture that says, the brother who is least, to judge, roughly paraphrasing, but right, you see, but we help each other out. But the point is, we all have portions and parts of the body, and you don't know, your purpose might be better than what you think it is. That's why I want to get that example of King David. You might think, man, I don't never, be heard, I don't seen, I don't think my lessons, I don't get a lot of views or likes. But look, soon as that spiritual power hit, the Lord give it to you before anybody else, man. Yeah, he's a brother in our camp. I'm going to say that brother name, the brother Lamar Mouth. That brother don't speak too much, laid back, super humble brother. And brother had a couple dreams, about him receiving spiritual power. And I had told him, I was like, I can make so much sense, bro. You don't talk much, you know, you don't like, you know, speak, you don't like to be seen that much. It only makes sense that when the power come, the Lord to give it to you out of everybody, man. But that's true, you see. But you know, man, I was one longer than I wanted to anyway, man. But Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh. By Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Chakwadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to all you Akim out there pushing his word with all truth and sincerity, and to all you believers out there who believe in the gospel. And with that, keep pushing, keep fighting. Shalom.